Transport Fever 2, Advanced Town Builder. I am going to show you how you can build your own little town, or you can add to an existing town. The first thing that I had to do is I went to the Steam website, to the workshop, and I went to the town buildings, and I added some buildings that I wanted, and they appear here. Took me a while to find it under assets. You've got terrain tools and assets, and they're not all under one icon. Each has its own icon. And right now I'm specifically focusing on residential buildings. Some of them generate people, some don't, and in some cases you have to turn on the ability to generate people. So these are from one or two different mods over here. I added these buildings, and I'm going to tell you they produce a really large number of people. Once I built these buildings, and if you do it properly, hundreds of people went to the bus stop. And I had to run a lot of lines, and I'm using double-decker buses, which carry like 50 people, because it's the only way to transport all. I mean, obviously it's not the only way, but it just makes the game a lot easier. So the other thing that I did was I chose farm area, which is here. There's more than one. And over here I built a little town using houses. Generates fewer people, and they all work differently. Some of them you can set how many people live there, some of them you turn it on and off, etc. And I seem to recall it also generated a lot of cars. When I built that little town, I saw a lot of cars driving around. Now this one I built adjacent to a city, and I built one that has residential houses, and I built another one that has large apartment buildings. It did not impact the population of the city. And not only that, not that many people came out. When I did the first town that I showed you, a large number of people came out. The buses were very busy, and the nearest train station had hundreds of people waiting. This one I built, and then I watched it, and I saw people come out of the buildings, walk down the sidewalks, and head for the bus stops. See, there's a guy over here. He came from the building, and he's going to a commercial area by air. He's taking an airplane. So he's headed to the airport. Okay, so does it help to build these things? Absolutely, yes. All these tall buildings over here are from a mod that I added. It helps because these people are going to go get jobs, and they're going to travel, they're going to take the train, they're going to go shopping, and they're going to get jobs. The issue is now you need to build jobs, and I have not built jobs. My plan was to deliver goods, cargo, into town. This has a lot of room to grow, and by delivering cargo, expand the number of workplaces, and then by expanding the number of workplaces, I will show you workplaces. See over here, all of these buildings that have the little icon. One is a goods package, and the other one is fuel. Industrial buildings take fuel. Commercial buildings take goods. It says right here, cargo needs 0%. So I have to deliver those items to those parts of town. It will expand the buildings, and then people will start coming out of the buildings, and they will go into these places to shop or work. Now I'm going to show you how this mod works. You click on a building, I'm going to click on this one over here. Hit configure, and over here on the bottom it has settings, but they're just for the appearance of the building. So that means it's automated. This building over here is for like 140 people, but it's automated. You can't do anything with the building. If you select a large residential building, this is a residential building, there's only 16 people. But this one over here has 140 people in it. This is a different mod. I'm going to show you some of these buildings. You hit configure. I think this is called the Alpine Mod. You pick the building you want. This is probably a random building. And the plot furnished means it has trees. Number of residents, I put it at 4. You can have up to 20 per building. I want it to be fair, so I put it at 4. If you don't select it, then it defaults to off. When you start building, like if I put a new house down, I'll put a house over here. It's the Alpine. I wonder if that's it. Here it is. I'm going to pick a small building. See if it'll fit over here. Use the N and M key to rotate. And Shift N. And I'm going to put it right here. Now I'm going to hit configure. Scroll to the bottom. And it's configured the way I last used it. You always want to check because it might reset to the beginning when you load the game. So he's going to generate 4 people and cars. I don't know if it generates cars, but he's going to generate 4 people. And they're going to walk around. So I did check when I built the first building, hundreds of people came out in that first area that I showed you at the start of the video. When I built these, virtually nobody came out. And the reason why is there's no jobs for them to go to, and there's no place for them to go for retail. They're all busy. This is a commercial building. It's got 12 facilities, and it's not being supplied. So I'm going to make sure I supply all of that material. Now, you notice that there was a guy who was going to the airport. I'm going to show you my big airport. It is over here. Most of my airports are small airports, except for this one. You can delete the hangar and replace it with a passenger terminal if you want, but then you'll have to supply the plane from somewhere else. So over here, I can fly the bigger planes, and the planes are obviously going to many different cities. What you can do is build your large population over here. All those tall apartment buildings over here. Give them access to get to the terminal, which is right here. This is the main building where they enter. You notice that there's sidewalks, and they have like a dashed moving line. You have to have these where you place your apartment building, and there has to be a connection. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So I'm going to put a building down. We go to Assets, put one of these. I'm going to carefully rotate it. I'm going to use the Shift N. And you see it's got a little blue sidewalk connection. And it does over there, and over there, and over here, right? You have to have it connected. So now it's connected. Those people will be able to walk across the street, go to the airport, and there's a bus stop right here. So So now the reason why you want to do this is because if they get to the airport, they can fly to your cities all over your map, which means if you've got shortages anywhere on the map, now you've got people going there. He's going to a commercial building using my high-speed rail. And the high-speed rail is right here. Unfortunately, I don't have... There he is. We'll see where he's going. He is going to Didcot, which is, I believe, 1 or 2 towns to the north. So this is Didcot, and this is his town over here. So this is a great place to build all these high-capacity buildings. Looks like, okay, those people were dropped off, obviously. She's going on the high-speed rail in the other direction. He's going on the high-speed rail. This guy is a runner. He's going to a bus station. So expect this bus station to start filling up with pedestrians over time. So that's how you can use advanced town building. This is, for example, this is just residential. I'm only doing residential right now because I want to play around with the buildings. I just installed it within the last day. Because you can place your own buildings, you can place them anywhere. You might want to level the ground first. You see how the ground is built? So you're going to use a terrain tool and you're going to level this with a bigger brush size, of course, and higher strength. Then you're going to have a more reasonable terrain to build on as opposed to this crazy one. So I'm going to show you something that I did with a building. There is another area that I did not show you yet. There's actually 2 more. Okay, I don't know where it is. We'll find it. This looks like it could be it. No. I'm going to show you another farming town. It's not here. You'll know where it is because there's going to be lots of bus stops. See over here we got some bus stops. This is another town that I made with houses because I figure that people would live near farmland. So I put these bus stops over here, and this one over here is going between 2 different towns, and this one is going between 2 different towns. What? Okay, so it's going further down. See, it's kind of a big line. That's how big it is. It's going between those 2 different towns. And this one is going between these 2 closer towns. And it's going to bring those people to jobs and to shopping in those areas. I'm going to go over here and pick on a person. And it says that they're taking a bus to work. And this one is taking a bus to work. So let's see if we can find the other building that I made. There it is. So this is a case where I added a building between the rail lines, but I really couldn't figure out how to make a road connection It's not impossible, but because they tend to connect on the longer side, I might not be able to do it. And I could probably make a road connection by connecting it to the highway, but it's not going to give them access to the transportation, the public transportation system. So let's say I do it like that. I don't know if the building's connected. I don't know if anybody's going to come out. One way to do it is to put a bus stop over here and see if anything happens. I'll have to put a bus stop right there. And then this is the neighboring town. This is the main bus terminal. This town is Reading. So I'm going to look for bus. Oh, he uses a tram. I'm going to use this one. He'll go from... Okay, I'm going to use this one. Four and 8 are probably... Actually, maybe not. I don't know. So I'm going to click on 5. You notice that there's a flashing over here, right? And then I'm going to click on 7, and another line is flashing. And when I click on 6, both of them are flashing. So 7 is the line that's near the bus, and I'm going to connect it like that. Actually, maybe that's incorrect. I'll remove 8. We'll try on 5. There it is. So he's going to go in, check for passengers. It's possible that the sidewalk is not connected and nobody will come out. And the only thing I can do is check back later. So there's one more thing that I'm going to show you, which is not in that town, which is in this town. I'm pretty sure that some of the houses, like this house right here, I added, this is a sidewalk connection. I added houses that are connected directly to the rail station. So we go to the rail station and hit configure. See over here, there's this little flashing blue. And over here it says side entrance. I already have 3 side entrances, but that's how you add the side entrance. Like that. And that means that these houses, I don't know if it's really connected to the side entrance or not. Maybe I did it right, maybe I did it wrong. But, you know, there's a way to find out. I go over here and I can delete this house. And I can do assets. Go to one of the small houses and turn it like that. And now you can see that it looks like there's a connection. I don't know if this house is connected either. So I'm going to delete it. Did that person just walk out of the house? We'll see if somebody walks out. I guess not. No one will ever walk out of that house. I'm going to add another house. This one looks kind of big. So they are able to go directly onto the train platform. Doesn't show any residents. That was weird. Oh, I clicked on the person and it showed the person. Wow, they're all waiting to get on the plane. So I'm going to add another aircraft. Okay, so that's some advanced town building. There's a lot of different mods for doing advanced town building. And I've only downloaded 5 or 6 town buildings, all residential so far. I will get into the other ones probably later. There's a lot of towns to build. Okay, so that's it for this video. You can go to my discussion forum, cheapbooks.cc. Go to, you know what, I'm going to tell you some more about building towns that isn't related to the mod. In order to get growth, you want to have different types of transportation. You want to have bus, train, boat, and air. And you want to have the cargo, and you want to have stops around the city. And they have to be in the correct area. The bus stop has to be in the residential area. You use this over here to tell you which is residential and which isn't. And the truck stop can be used to drop off at the rail line, but not pick up. So you have to be able to pick up. You need a station near your network to do the pickups for trucks. For buses, it doesn't matter. For buses, people can get on and off. You want to have highways. You notice that my highway goes around the town, kind of like in a square. This might not be a highway, I don't know. But we can check another town. Because in general, all of my towns have highways around them. You can see I built a highway going around. Except I don't have one going across the south. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to upgrade that to a highway. And they will take it if I click on a line. Obviously, he's not going to go around the town to use the highway. But he's going to get on it wherever he can. Like if I make this connection over here. You see the line switched, and now he's using the highway that I built. In this case, he's using part of the highway. I'm going to change the color of the line because I used dark blue if it goes to another city. When you build, like I built this over here, you want to make sure that it's as close as possible to your cargo terminal. Passenger terminal is far away, but it's connected to my airport. They're both connected. So that means I don't have to do a drop off for the passengers. They can transfer automatically. Okay, so that is basically it for the my advanced town layout video. I do have a discussion forum, which is cheapbooks.cc. You can go there and look under transport management, and you'll find Transport Fever 2. And I am the owner of cheapbooks.com, which is a website for searching for books and textbooks. And thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.